right. Well, we watched it. We may as well discuss it. Welcome to the Pinfall podcast. I'm your host, Liz. And I am joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, Marcus, or co-host Marcus. I usually point up.
We could just do an AEW Dark Elevation watch along. Could do that. But then we'd have to listen to Paul White.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, it's so sad. Honestly, Mark and I watched AEW Dark and AEW Dark Elevation this weekend, and I mean, I guess it's because you got big shoes to fill when it comes to Excalibur and Taz, but like, it just that just ain't it.
See, Taz is great on Dark because it's like the matches, they like don't matter.
It's very clear that like on Dark they're just like they're fucking around.
Yeah, and then on Dynamite, you still got Excalibur, who's a great play-by-play commentator. And then you got Jim Ross and sometimes Tony Schiavone. I like Jim
Real
Ross more than
quick.
Schiavone, but yeah.
Well, yeah, because Jim Ross has the fucking voice.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to acknowledge I've gone full beach bum today. I've got my Hawaiian shirt. I've got my little they're not like the puka shell earrings, but like those little white, like you can see, those white stones or whatever that like you get on the beach. I've never worn these earrings before. I bought them because I thought I'd like them and I hated them.
Mm-hmm.
And now today I've just decided to go the extra mile.
Wow.
Which will probably be the most interesting thing that we talk about today. There were matches where I fucking forgot I had to take up fucking notes. That was how engaging tonight's episode was.
I think we should do a gag episode where we don't take notes. We just try to recall everything.
My God, no. I'd cry. I'd like break down crying. This is my life's work, Marcus.
I think it'll be fun. You don't think it'll be fun?
Depends. Are we doing would we do that for an episode of Raw? Because then it definitely wouldn't be fun.
No. I mean,
for like an episode of SmackDown.
Getting through Raw itself is a challenge in and of itself.
As everybody who's close to me knows, I had to get a filling today. And I made a joke to my dear friend Miriam that like maybe after getting my filling done, it would make Raw like tolerable because I've already had something shitty happen to me today.
Mm-hmm.
I would have rather had a second filling.
You see,
honestly,
I thought today's episode wasn't as bad as the last two. I thought it was interesting. I thought a lot happened today that was like, oh, that's neat.
There were parts of Raw where I sat back and I was like, yeah, good shit right there. And there were parts of Raw where I sat back and said, I fucking hate watching this goddamn show.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't in a bad mood earlier. I got back from the dentist. I didn't have much work to do today. I got to work out, got all my things out of the way, had a fun dinner. I was in a fine mood. And then something snapped in me this evening and I was like,
Let me take a guess. Oh, I know what it is. I know what snapped your mood. It was Eva Green.
Eva Marie?
Eva Marie.
My God.
I'm thinking of the actress Eva Green.
I don't want to talk poorly about Eva Marie right now. We'll get to it.
But
yeah, no. Well,
quick recap of the episode. We ended it with Bobby versus Braun. Braun's trying to prove himself as he belongs in the match. Fine match. It's fine. We had Eva Marie teased. Mansoor signed with Raw. That was big. But at the same time, his streak ended with a goddamn DQ. Oh, man.
That was such a confused match too, and all I can say is that Mansoor being on the main roster is something I've been asking for a really long time now, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'll take it.
You see, I might get flack for this, but I disagree. I think he belonged better in NXT than the main roster.
Oh. Well, okay, so I mean, more so, I'm just happy he's not localized to 205 Live.
Yeah. Main event.
But I think that he's gonna fit in just fine with the main roster. I just hope that he doesn't get buried on Raw. Yeah. Which I feel like is a very Raw thing for Raw to do.
We also got Cedric and Shelton breaking up. We got the return of AJ and Omos. That was fun. That led to a fantastic promo with them in the New Day. We also got Alexa Bliss targeting Sonya Deville.
Can I just say I called that?
Yeah, you called it because she wore all red.
And I said, I know colors.
Yeah. That's pretty much everything that happened, everything notable that happened today. Charlotte being a psychopath. Everything else was pretty lackluster. Drew Gulak and Angel Garza had a fantastic match.
I wished it was longer.
Yeah. And the women's tag match.
Oh, I don't want to talk about that. If we start talking about that right now, I'm gonna just walk off the show.
Oh no. Miriam said absolutely cannot wait for Raw writers to confuse Mansoor and Mustafa like the fans already do. Well, hopefully now that Mansoor has short hair, that won't happen.
I was about to make a comment.
He looks good in that hair, though.
Okay, Mansoor looks good with long hair. He looks good with short hair. He's a versatile man.
Feels like it's been a long
bone structure.
It's been a long ass time since I've seen him with long hair, though. I think last time I saw him with long hair was like Super Showdown.
He's just so handsome. He's so handsome.
All right. News?
Oh yeah, actually, I've got a fun piece of news. Fun piece of news for me. It'll be a funny piece of news, I think, to Miriam. Mark, you probably won't give a shit.
Okay. Probably not.
I'll try to make you give a shit.
That'll be difficult.
I know. So we're gonna start with news from outside of. Actually, my first piece of news will not be the thing I'm excited to share. We'll start outside of the major promotions and we'll move our way in.
Okay.
I will keep my Chris Jericho comments down to a absolute minimum. But Chris Jericho was on an interview and he said a ton of dumb shit. So it's gonna be hard. First things first, Andrade has challenged Kenny Omega for the AAA title, I believe. Kenny Omega has said he'll get back to him because he doesn't know. He's not sure if he will agree to it yet.
Well, I'm sure it will happen because
he responded, so I mean that's a good sign.
And that will be an easy way to get that title off of him. And fans would fucking kill for that match.
You've said fucking twice today. I don't know who you are, but
that's like my emphasized fucking. I gotta go fucking get that extra vowel in there.
See, I feel like you're going FOCK. I feel like you need to go FAWK.
Walking.
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 Doesn't even sound like the
Falcon.
word anymore.
I go FAU.
Falcon?
Falcon. Falcon? Fauci? Dr. Fauci?
Dr. Fauci. Just word association on the Pinfall podcast. Anyways, so yeah, that's interesting. Hopefully he says yes. I would love to see that match. I don't know if we'll actually be able to watch that match happen, but love to see it.
Definitely not live.
And in NJ, talk.
I just said definitely not live.
Yeah, no. Oh. In NJPW news, my Rat King, my sweet, sweet Rat King, Jay fucking White, has made NJPW history as the first New Japan wrestler to win the Never Openweight, the IWGP Heavyweight, the IWGP Intercontinental, and the IWGP US Championship.
Did you see the end of that match?
No.
I did. He is healing it up over there.
Oh yeah, he's a massive heel. He's
great.
A piece of shit.
He's so good.
He's such a jackass, and I adore him. Like he literally looks like a fucking like goat, and I would drop anything. I would drop all my responsibilities if he asked me to.
Wish we could watch NJPW because he powerbombed somebody onto like a ladder outside of the ring.
We can.
You're gonna mention something illegal. I want no part of it.
No, I think through Fight TV we can watch NJPW, or
Okay.
NJPW might have their own app. You would have to pay money.
I think it's.
I know how to do it illegally, but I'm not going to talk about that.
I think it's Fight TV. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know I saw that when we were first looking for Revolution. So, I mean, I would be more than happy to shell out a couple of bucks to watch Jay White be a little piece of shit.
I'd like to watch Impact first.
Mark, no offense, you have discovered far too many promotions that we can access on our television right now, and I need 5 minutes.
I want to be able to just fill every block of time in my life just watching wrestling.
We do.
But more.
Mark, when you're not watching wrestling, you're playing a wrestling video game. I don't know how to break that one to you, buddy.
Not so much anymore. Not so much.
The last 2 times I've walked into your room, you've been playing wrestling video game.
Yeah, that was me setting up booking for this Thursday. Miriam said NJPW has their own streaming service around $10 a month. That's a bit steep.
How much I pay for Spotify?
You pay
I'll
that
shell
much
out
for
$10 a
Spotify?
month. That's $9.99 a month, buddy.
Oh, that's less than what we pay for Audible.
Some of us pay for it out of our own fucking.
What?
You don't pay for your Spotify premium, do you?
I do.
Oh, sorry. Wrong jab. But I mean, I'd shell out 10 fucking bucks to watch NJPW. I know it's easy enough to say New Japan, but I just can't.
NJ.
Nuge.
New Jersey Pro Wrestling.
Anyways, okay, so let's talk about Chris Jericho. So Chris Jericho. So do you remember when we were watching Dynamite and Chris Jericho was talking about Jack Hager and how Jack Hager had his back when he was threatened with assassination? Do you remember those words coming out of his mouth? And you and I both looked at each other like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah. Apparently it happened.
Apparently it is a true story, but it's sort of not. In the sense that it's a true story that a man did come up to him and say, my father owns like X percentage of this country. You're gonna get killed by the end of the day. There's a bounty on your head for $7 million. Which, who wants to kill Chris Jericho that badly? Anyways, not the point. Apparently, that guy has said that to a million people. According to a bouncer at a club, he's like, yeah, he does this like every fucking week. And his father owns a gas station down the road from said club. So the man that was threatening assassination on Chris Jericho was just talking out of his ass.
Oh. Wait, where was that?
This was in Abu Dhabi, I believe.
Abu Dhabi?
Yes, Abu Dhabi. Yeah. And Chris Jericho just said, well, it makes sense somebody has it out for me.
That's just
Fucking...
him kayfabing.
I don't know if that was kayfabing. I think he genuinely probably assumed. However, Chris Jericho also said that the WWE is prostituting the Hell in a Cell gimmick and says that the WWE ratings drop is on WWE, which I don't know why we need Chris Jericho to say that. Considering we, the fans, can sit here and say that any goddamn day of the week.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of obvious. I mean, otherwise it would be like,
yeah,
AEW Dark Elevation is taking away the ratings, which definitely not.
Yeah. It's just... I love knowing that Chris Jericho went on a podcast, because then there's 41 articles about Chris Jericho saying X, Y, and Z, inane fucking piece of shit comment. And I'm like, God damn it. I can't talk about all of this, but I'll drop it. Anywho. The WWE filed a new trademark for Top Dollar, DOLLA. And it's apparently expected to be for their new signing, AJ Francis. I have no clue what this means. I don't know if that's going to be like his actual name in it. But apparently this is the guy who's also the host of the Most Wanted WWE Treasure series on A&E.
Wait, AJ Francis?
Yeah. He was actually supposed to be the host for Raw Underground too.
Maybe they're just renaming the series Top Dollar.
No, because apparently AJ Francis uses it as a nickname on social media.
Oh, then they're probably going to make merch out of it.
Yeah. And on that note, we have details on the throwback episode of SmackDown. Finally. Apparently, basically nobody knew that this was going to happen. This was like a surprise to people backstage.
Okay.
Apparently, the WWE has not given anybody backstage any more information since then. And it seems like this could potentially be something that they do for Raw as well in the future. But I think that the best part of this is that we've got an update, and the update is that nobody knows what the fuck is going on.
Okay, cool.
Which means SmackDown is going to be a nightmare this week. I can almost guarantee that. Considering it's Monday, and everyone's just like...
I mean, they probably know the matches and storylines and stuff. It's just the throwback stuff they're probably cool as of.
Well, that's what I mean, though.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is I feel like whenever you throw in an extra thing into a WWE show, all hell breaks loose.
Mm-hmm. I do fuck with the throwback though. I do fuck with
I'm hoping that they do something cool.
Yeah. Raw would be pretty cool. Oh, if they go by the name like Raw's War for that episode, that'd be great.
That'd be fun. Also, my foot fell asleep and it's waking back up, so I'm just like... And finally, apparently the WWE has been tossing around a concept that really won't affect anyone until apparently end of next year.
Mm-hmm.
So a while out, but still. Apparently they want to take SmackDown off of Fox. There's an idea being thrown around that they would take it off of Fox. Unless Fox gives them a lot of extra money.
Mm-hmm.
And then potentially invest in other streaming services for it. And they've suggested the names of Prime and Apple TV, which feels like the dumbest shit anybody could fucking do.
I mean, I wanted WWE to embrace streaming, but like, that's not what I meant.
And like Apple TV is like the worst because you can't just get Apple TV. Like,
You have to get an Apple device.
yeah, like Prime TV, okay, you just have to get an Amazon Prime account and a smart TV.
Or Fire Stick, Roku, fucking anything.
Right. But the fact that like Apple TV and Prime TV are the two that they're like maybe.
I have my doubts as to the, like how
Again, it's
that's gonna
years
pan
out.
Yeah.
End of next year. So
Why don't they just jump on Hulu?
you would think Hulu has a live TV option.
Yeah.
I don't know either. But what I do know is that is the end of our news.
Actually, I have one more piece of news.
I already took the sign down.
Apparently WWE is going to air every single Goldberg match back to back in an upcoming 20-minute special.
Is that real or is that a joke?
That's kayfabe news. I just love it because like I fell for this too at first. Like that's the first kayfabe news article that I've fallen for, and 20-minute special.
You really caught me off guard on that one. I was like, all right, jump us in.
All right. Also, Sean Rossap tweeted about Steve Cutler. This is kind of to reiterate what we said on Friday. Regarding Jackson Raker's tweets, Steve Cutler said that he wanted to distance himself as quick as possible because that's not how he thinks. So it's probably Wesley Blake that was the one that had to delete a bunch of stuff. Because it seems like Steve Cutler is like not in that wing at all.
Kind of has his shit together.
Well, I mean, he's still throwing maskless parties during a
True.
pandemic, but
It's like, unfortunately, we can't pin all the shit on one person.
right. All right, so in this episode, we started off with MVP, Adam Pearce, and Sonya Deville. And what a fucking allegory for fucking Raw. They're flipping a coin to decide who Bobby fights. It's like, that's what they've been doing to decide every episode. Drew walks in, said Bobby should be concerned about who he fights. Braun then walks in, says he'll beat Bobby. Then they flip the coin. Braun calls tails, and Bobby's gonna fight Braun. And yeah, just like that. It's stupid. Then we had AJ Styles and Omos with their return, looking great as ever, with the titles on their shoulders. Titles look great on them, especially on Omos. Those are good looking titles.
Mm-hmm.
Would like to see the unified title, like the black strap with the bronze plates. That was nice.
Yeah.
AJ said that Omos wrecked the New Day in his first match ever. And he'll wreck them again tonight during their WrestleMania rematch. How many weeks out from WrestleMania is this? How many weeks out? And we're having a fucking WrestleMania rematch? I mean, we practically have a WrestleMania rematch pay-per-view coming up, so.
Yeah, exactly.
He said, "Did you miss us? We went to party after WrestleMania, after winning the titles. Went to, did they say where they went? Some resort or like vacation spot in the Bahamas or something? I'm just gonna assume the Bahamas.
Yeah, I don't know where they said they went.
Maybe Cancun. I don't know, somewhere tropical. And AJ also mentions that he is now a Grand Slam champion. Of course, he can't mention the other titles that he's won involving him in the Grand Slam, but he's a Grand Slam champion. Very deserving.
Yeah, gotta give it to him.
Then the New Day walk out. Said congrats on some time off. But they got to be 11-time champions by taking time off willy-nilly, very sarcastically. Kofi said he showed up on Raw immediately after winning the WWE title at WrestleMania. They don't take vacation time like AJ and Omos. That plucked some strings, and we have a match right up next. The rematch for the title. We have AJ Styles and Omos versus the New Day.
Yes. I wasn't a fan of this match. Mark was.
That was fun. It was a fun match.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah.
Just thought it was kind of whatever. So we start with AJ versus Xavier. AJ immediately tags in Omos. Xavier tries to get some kicks in on Omos, but Omos no sells, ends up tossing Xavier. There's a punch to the back of Xavier, and then he is slung into the ropes. This gets Kofi in. He tries kicking Omos. That doesn't work either. One of the kicks gets caught. Kofi gets spun around and then shoved into the ground. Kofi then kicks Omos in the face. Xavier gets back in. We get a team drop kick to Omos, and then Omos double clotheslines both the men. AJ, in his elation, high fives Omos, and the ref is like, "Yep, that's a tag. Get in here." AJ's like, "No, it's not." And instead of just jumping in, having Omos jump out, and then have him tag in, AJ's like, "Well, fuck. Now I've got to fight." So AJ gets in. Xavier immediately rolls him up, sends him from the ring eventually. Kofi gets in. Xavier hits 2 boots to the face of AJ. Kofi goes to suicide dive out onto him. Gets intimidated by Omos, who is now standing kind of right where he needs to bounce off of. So he decides instead to dive from the top buckle backwards down onto Styles. Woods is then in against Styles. He's just stomping AJ in the corner. He and Kofi do that alternating stomping thing that they like to do. Up until Kofi gets in, we get a sliding dropkick to AJ and then a wrist lock onto AJ. There's a jumping knee strike onto AJ and then a Pele kick to Kofi. Xavier gets in, goes to throw AJ in some fashion, but AJ goes up and over, lands on his feet. Gets Omos in. Omos clotheslines Kofi, drops Xavier, powerbombs Kofi, sends a backbreaker onto Xavier. Then starts splashing the men in alternate corners. We get a 7-foot powerbomb to Kofi, and then a phenomenal forearms to the freshly tagged in AJ off of the shoulders of Omos onto Xavier to win.
Yep. Also, apparently, they might be lining up Jay White versus Kenny Omega for the Never title. Because Jay White kind of called out Kenny Omega. He said, "I'm the real belt collector now." And we know where that's going.
Hey! Oh my god, stop. I'll have to watch that promo later. What a king.
It was right after the match, I think.
Yeah, usually they do promos or interviews right after their matches.
Yeah.
Such a nutcase.
But yeah, match was fun. AJ and Omos retain. Pretty expected. I doubt they'll retain at Backlash though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The big man Omos gimmick can only last so long.
I mean, it looked pretty powerful today.
I don't know. We'll see. They're gonna find a way around it though.
Well, sooner or later they have to drop the titles anyways.
Yeah. And I'm just concerned by how long they've gone without getting like a photo shoot with the titles, because they've been there. They've been at the Thunderdome, but they haven't gotten any pictures with the titles. Because I've looked it up on several occasions to add to this fucking graphic, and there are none that exist with them with the titles.
You're gonna have to Photoshop your own.
Yeah. Actually, no, I'm not. I don't want to put in that effort.
That's fair.
So after that, we have Sonya and Charlotte Flair. Adam Pearce walks in. Sonya kind of dismisses him. But Adam Pearce says Sonya is overstepping her bounds. Yeah. She's overstepping.
She's doing just fine.
Speaking of doing just fine, we have promo up next revealing, right after a commercial break, revealing Eva Marie returning. She's standing on like a Ferrari.
Okay, so before we say anything disparaging, I don't want to say anything disparaging. Okay? Let's start there.
I wasn't going to, but okay.
No, I was just trying to stop you if you were going to, but continue.
Well, she was standing on a Ferrari, kind of. I forget the words she was saying. I didn't write this down. I was too busy writing down Eva Green instead of Eva Marie.
I think you made that mistake too, like months ago when she was first rumored to be coming back.
Probably.
I think you were like, because it was when they were doing the Carmella promos, and you're like, oh, I think that's Eva Green, and I was like, I don't know who that is either. So sure.
I've only seen one Eva Green movie, and that's Casino Royale.
I don't know who that is. Well, the only thing I really got from it was that she's calling it evolution.
Right. Yeah, evolution. I just wish it wasn't so close to Carmella's gimmick.
I don't think it is. I think she's got ow. The cat's in here and she just clawed me.
Nice. With her back.
Back claws are too sharp. So she stood on me with her back claws.
Oh.
Yeah. Lovely. It's so a lot of people are very passionate about this, and I get it. I don't like Eva Marie that much. She's not my cup of tea. Hasn't been for a while. Just never really struck that chord with me, and that's fine. I don't think it's fair for people to be like, to not like her because of the fact that she is so Divas era-y.
Right.
I think just because like there's so many women that are from the Divas era right now that are doing amazingly.
I don't
so
think
to be like, oh, all Divas era women aren't good would be a bit of a broad stroke.
I haven't seen anyone judge her for that, although if you go into like Twitter comments, you'll probably see a lot of people doing that. But
I haven't seen people say that. I've seen people complain about people saying that. So,
and everyone's assuming she might be coming back as a wrestler, but she's probably coming back as a manager. I saw thrown around that she might be Parker Bordeaux's or Boudreaux's manager.
One way or another, I mean, if she comes back, and again, like, I don't like her. I've never liked her. But things change. It's been 5 fucking years.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows? I would love, more than anything, for the sake of women's wrestling, I would love for her to come out and be like, blow the doors off. If she's still wrestling. To come back, be like insanely good. and breathe some life into the women's Raw division. I love that.
Yeah. But will that happen? We'll see. After that, we have an interview with Bobby Lashley and MVP. MVP says that Braun's luck ran out with that coin toss. Neither Drew nor Braun can compete with Bobby, although they are talented competitors. But then Bobby chimes in and says, "But I'm no man. I'm not merely a man. I'm almighty." Bobby said they'll have to try to pry this title out of my hands. And although they can pin each other, none of them have to pin me. I don't remember what he said after that, but it's generic promo. We then have a promo with Elias. Got some tomatoes. He's seeing the New Day back with ice packs and shit. He tries to throw them, retaliate, but he ends up hitting Randy Orton instead. Randy looks pissed.
Yeah. My king.
And then Riddle rides through. And that's it. And then we have Charlotte Flair versus Dana Brooke for some goddamn reason. You gotta give Charlotte Flair some wins before going to that title match, so I guess this is fair.
Yeah, I mean, it also makes sense because she beat up Mandy last week. So. Or got beaten up by Mandy? I don't know. But prior to this happening, there's a promo with Charlotte and Sonya. Remember? Charlotte was talking down to Sonya, and I said...
Oh. No,
Sorry,
that was after. That was after.
Was it?
Yeah.
Really?
Because that's when Rhea Ripley comes out, Asuka comes out.
Oh, okay. My bad. But so Charlotte's fighting Dana Brooke. Charlotte's just being kind of a bitch to start the match, and that's fine. More power to her. Can't say I don't love it. Dana manages to get in a few punches. She actually looked pretty decent tonight. She looked less like the Dana Brooke we've been seeing, which I liked. She got in a few punches. We had that stupid head scissors that Dana does, and it's not really Dana's fault that it's stupid. It's just the fact that no one's ever called it out as a stupid move. Where she gets in the position for the head scissors with her feet seized around the person's neck, and then the person spins with her as if she were spinning the person by her ability to fly. I don't know. But she manages the head scissors. It was like a little one-legged drop kick that looked pretty nice. We get a backbreaker on Dana, and then Charlotte just drops her on into the ropes. We get a boot to the side of the face of Dana on the apron. Dana then tries to roll back into the ring, and Charlotte fucking knees her in the side. Dana then hangs Charlotte up on the top rope. We get a step-up enziguri to Charlotte, which was actually like the most literal version of a step-up enziguri I've ever seen. She quite literally like put her foot into the midsection of Charlotte. I was like, I mean, I'm sure that's how it's supposed to be done, but like at the same time, I'm sitting there and I'm like, ow, it looks like it hurts. Jesus. So we get a clothesline to Dana right afterwards. Charlotte stomps the piss out of Dana. Dana then sends Charlotte into the corner, elbows the side of her, sends some elbows to the side of the head of Charlotte. We get a nice little swanton onto Charlotte, and then a chop block to Dana as Dana flips in the air. It's just fucking mean. Like, Dana had something going for her there, and Charlotte just comes out of nowhere.
That was clean, though. That was clean.
It was very clean. And then we get a less than clean figure eight to Dana. It just looked a little wonky. I
I
don't think
think
Dana's legs were in the right position.
it was just the fact that like here was Dana, and then here was Charlotte.
Yeah, they were like at an angle. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. But the figure eight to Dana, Dana immediately taps. We get Mandy in with a drop kick to the knee of Charlotte, and then I would have known that the promo comes afterwards because I wrote Sonya, and then what the fuck, brother? I don't know what that was about, but
It's because you thought she was coming in to fight. Her walkout played.
oh, I did because no one acknowledged it during the match until like Sonya was pretty much at the ring. But Charlotte rolls out of the ring. Mandy goes to check on Dana, and I see in like the bottom quarter of the screen, I just see Sonya Deville's name, and there's music playing, and I was like, Mandy's in the ring, Sonya's coming out, it's happening again. And then Sonya said, no, I'm still a manager. And I said, that's fair, baby. I got you.
Yeah. So we have Charlotte and Sonya both in the ring together. She says Charlotte's allowed to make a proposal. Charlotte then starts talking, says that she was left out of a title match yet again with Backlash, and that announced today. She put Rhea on the map, and Rhea stole her opportunity. Charlotte makes the match that much more important if you bring her in. Charlotte then gave Sonya the opportunity to be an authority by unsuspending Charlotte. She said the division needs Charlotte and wants to be added to Backlash, and Sonya says yes. And then Rhea Ripley comes out, says this is absolute crap. Nobody likes you, Charlotte. She's confident she can beat Asuka one-on-one. She already did, and a triple threat is just unfair. Says that this is all a part of Sonya's plan. Asuka comes out and says this is bullcrap. Calls Charlotte a whiny crybaby. Oh, I missed this, Asuka. Charlotte says they're thrown one curveball and they lose their minds. Kind of a good point, but also triple threat really isn't fair. Rhea then gets in Sonya's face. Charlotte attacks Rhea. Asuka retaliates and attacks Charlotte. And then we're done there. Then we have an interview with Humberto Carrillo. He's not going to let Sheamus disrespect him. Sheamus then attacks Humberto. He says he's in no condition to accept the challenge now. I'm so glad we're getting more Humberto. I'm so glad.
I hope that we continue to.
It seems like they're setting up a feud. That what we're probably going to see at
yeah, actually,
Backlash.
That's a good point.
Maybe Backlash we get Sheamus, Mansoor, and Humberto in a triple threat for the title.
Okay, there's only so many triple threats I can handle.
No, everyone has to be a triple threat now. Everything.
Please.
Universal title. Roman, Cesaro, and Jay.
That's just a handicap match.
Fine, Roman, Cesaro, and Edge.
I hate that you're ignoring Seth in this.
Well, Seth is like fucking just chaos and disorder.
I love that for him. Gemini King.
No, it's gonna be Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's
He's my new Gemini baby. No, Daniel Bryan and I are over. He's not my birthday twin anymore. Wow. Me and Seth are birthday twins now.
Kicked out of SmackDown for
out of my
3
heart
days, too. And you already kick him out.
Yep.
Wow.
Seth is a May Gemini, right? Yeah.
I don't know.
Seth's only 6 days off for my birthday. It's fine.
Cool.
We'll celebrate together.
Okay. After that, we have Adam Pearce and Sonya backstage. Adam Pearce is mad. He yells at Sonya about that this is abuse of power. Sonya said that she sent him text messages. He said he didn't get any text messages. She said the decision couldn't wait, but she concedes and says that they should be making decisions together. There is going to be some betrayal here. We're going to go back to warring brands. Yeah.
I just want to say, Charlotte was being such a bitch to Sonya, and I could feel like my mental state click. I was like, I love Charlotte, I love Charlotte, I love Charlotte. And then she started being mean to Sonya, and I was like, don't do that.
But if we get Adam Pearce as,
move over to SmackDown.
Yeah, or I was gonna assume. Oh, I guess yeah, he'd be GM of SmackDown. Sonya would be GM of Raw. We can get like brands at each other's throats again, like we used to. Like
I'd say wait a couple months, because if they were gonna do that, they'd do it closer to Survivor Series.
I think they would do it. They could do it for like the whole year.
I feel like they would do it a couple months prior, but like I think they would do it closer than we are now to Survivor Series.
I think Backlash, they're gonna do that. Backlash, they're gonna be Sony's gonna be like, and fuck you, Adam Pearce. Stomp on his balls or something.
I really wonder if they're setting up for a Charlotte Sonya rivalry.
I don't know.
Because the way Sonya was looking when Charlotte was talking at her, I was like, if somebody looked at me like that, I think I'd be feuding with them.
I don't know. We'll see. After that, we have John Morrison and The Miz in the ring. I was scared for a moment that we were going to get Miz TV once again, but thank God we didn't. Miz said that they were humiliated last week when they were pelted by tomatoes. Damian Priest then comes out, and we start the next match, John Morrison versus Damian Priest.
Yes. So we get a back heel into the shin of Morrison. John is sent into the ropes and then sent over the ropes. Once we get back in the ring, John is raining some elbows down onto Damian's head. We get a big knee strike to Priest as he stumbles back up to his feet. Then a right hand to Morrison from Priest. Morrison then runs with a punch to Priest, but gets clocked back down. We get a back elbow in the corner and then a failed broken arrow that manages... a failed broken arrow, but Damian manages a lariat on Johnny. Priest goes up top. Miz interferes. Johnny capitalizes and hits Priest with a Spanish fly. Johnny looks like he's about to go up... I don't know why I called him Johnny in my notes this whole time. John goes up top, but is pulled back down by Priest. It looked like John was going for his finisher there. But instead gets pulled down by the edge of his pants, almost rolled up. Morrison manages an inside cradle to Priest, but the Miz interferes and like distracts the ref. I don't know why. But the ref doesn't notice that John has Damian pinned for like at least 2 whole counts. Eventually we get up, there's a bell clap to Morrison, and then a hit the lights, and Damian wins.
Yep.
The more and more we watch this shit, the more and more I think you might be right that the Miz and John are breaking up. Because, like, that would be something I'd be pissed about.
Surprised we haven't seen Maurice again. And then we have Mansoor and Adam Pearce backstage. Mansoor signs with Raw. Jameson walks in and just starts talking some shit to Mansoor. I didn't write down exactly what he said, but he's just talking some shit, just bantering. After that, we have an interview with MVP. Said the match tonight shouldn't be happening. Braun doesn't belong in the Backlash match. Bobby and Drew should team up to take Braun out. And I like this. I like MVP thinking, why don't we side with the face? Take out the dude who's clearly tougher than both our guys. I like it. It's breaking those heel face boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And then immediately after that, with no break whatsoever, we were immediately thrown into Lucha House Party versus Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin.
We came back from commercial and this match had been going on.
Yeah.
Like,
It had been going on for like 20 minutes.
and it was a shame because like my head was trying to keep up with everything while I was trying to title the match in my notes, and it's like, ugh. So we get a head scissors to Cedric from Grand Metalik, and then a drop kick off the ropes after some fancy little footwork to Cedric again. Cedric, however, manages to just grab Grand Metalik and slam him down in a Michinoku driver. It's Shelton him. We get body slam after body slam to Grand Metalik, then a back body drop that nearly breaks Grand Metalik's neck because he does not tuck his head in time. I think he was about here when he finally tucked his head up, and I was like,
I remember looking at that like he waited a long time.
The way he like went down like this, and I was like, and in the moment, because it was such a fast move that I wasn't nervous in the moment, but then like I watched the replay and I was like stressed, even though I already knew he survived it. We get a backbreaker to Grand Metalik. Cedric gets in, starts stomping the shit out of Grand Metalik in the corner. We get a boot to the face of Cedric. Lindsay gets in, Shelton gets in. We get a clothesline that just turns Lindsay out. That just turns Lindsay inside out. Shelton then pops Lindsay up. Looks like Lindsay wants a hurricane run, but Shelton's too big to go down like that. He scrambles into position for a DDT. Once again, Shelton is way too big for that. He ends up getting sent all the way to the fucking ground. We finally get a DDT to Shelton from Lindsay. Lindsay sends Cedric outside of the ring, crossbodies him, tags in Grand Metalik. Grand Metalik goes in with an elbow drop to Shelton to win. Just want to make my obligatory, I know Lindsay's hot under that mask comment. Remember when he was fucking threatening to take the mask off? And I was like,
mm-hmm.
It was a good match. I just wish that I had some adjustment time.
We did have a lot of lead out though, which was nice. Like it's more than just a jobber match.
Yeah. This was I got some shit to say about this after you recap it.
But real quick, Chelsea Green tweeted, or not tweeted, but she said in an interview, she said, funny story, I was told that I would only get a job at NXT if Cass and Jess, aka the Iconics, didn't pass their medicals because the three of us look so similar, which I actually love now. I think it's a compliment, and joke's on them because they still hired me, right? I thought that was interesting. But also, she then tweeted, I've never wrestled for Ring of Honor. I want to change that. What?
I thought everyone thought that she was going to Impact, right? For Slammiversary? Or Slammiversary Ring of Honor?
Slammiversary is Impact.
Yeah.
But they might not necessarily be attached to that contract. Like attached to that promotion.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I always forget how the indies work.
Really?
My brain is just like, you wrestle for one person.
Yeah. But after that match, we have Angel Garza. Got a rose in hand. Drew Gulak stops him. Says, supposed to be a ladies' man, but you can't score. He then makes fun of his, like, win-loss. Even though, prior to this match, Drew Gulak was 2-12 And Angel Garza was 6-7. Can't be throwing stones like that, Drew.
Love you, Gulak, but still.
So he just challenges Angel. Angel says he's gonna shove the rose up his ass. We'll see you later on. After that, we have an interview with Shelton Benjamin. He gave a great ass promo.
Did you fully recap what Cedric said?
Oh, he basically said that now it's apparent why that we were kicked out of the Hurt Business. It's not me. It's not both of us. It's you. Because even after we're kicked out, we can't get a single win. Everything's fallen flat. So we lost the title. He's yelling in a voice we've never heard him yelling before.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard Cedric yell in like a prolonged and angry way.
Yeah. Now I hope this isn't just burying Cedric and raising up Shelton. Hope not. Really hope not.
I just want to say that maybe this is for the best, because I didn't want to see Shelton and Cedric break up, because I think that they're one of the best tag teams that Raw has in general and that WWE has right now. But it was said several times that they were kind of dead in the water after the Hurt Business broke up because Vince was not hot on them. And this at least feels like they have a storyline now.
Yeah.
So, and it's a non-title storyline.
But how many tag teams does Raw have now? Lucha House Party, Viking Raiders, New Day, AJ and Omos, RK Bro now. They got a decent amount. They're more than SmackDown.
You know, I'm just thinking about this now. If I had to lose Shelton and Cedric for RK Bro to become a thing, I'm gonna have an issue.
You see, I don't mind RK Bro. I really don't. If it was anybody but Riddle, like they're being written really well. They are. And Randy's doing an incredible job.
Right, but like the whole problem with it is Riddle.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Just like 1/3 of the equation. Because you got Randy, Riddle, and then how they're being written. That's thirds. 3 aspects.
Disaster for you at Sacrifice.
Anyway, after that, where were we? Oh, Shelton Benjamin interview. He says he survived so long in the business because he can take hits. Cedric was in the Hurt Business because he recommended him, because he saw something in him. He let him say his piece today. It was all because of him. And Shelton killed this promo. Killed it. And I you know what? You know what? I think with this promo and Cedric giving his promo in the ring, they're both probably like, I don't want to get buried. I don't want to go down. So I'm going to give fucking great promo to convince them to keep me up.
Yeah, I mean, they both gave impressive promos today.
But after that, we then have Angel Garza versus Drew Gulak. A main event match that is brought to the main roster. Thank God.
I apologize. My notes for this were not great. Mostly because I was annoyed at this point, and it was only going to get worse. So we get 2 massive fucking drop kicks to Gulak. And then like a weird sort of stomp type dealio. I didn't understand it, but it was cool. We then get a big backbreaker to Drew. Gulak gets a headlock on Garza for a while. It's so nice, by the way, to be saying Drew and not talking about Drew McIntyre. Then we get a fucking nasty ass clothesline and a massive dropkick again to Gulak. We get a boot across the face of Gulak, and finally we go up and we get that wing clipper. And then Angel Garza wins and says, well, time to shove a rose up Drew Gulak's ass.
Yep. Then he sticks it in his pants, runs to the other side of the ring, runs back, kicks his ass. Great. That was like some Attitude Era shit right there.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, there's an update on the MLW and WWE talks, according to Fightful.
That may or may not exist.
Apparently. I'm just going to read the excerpt. There have been conflicting reports regarding the emerging details of MLW and WWE having discussions regarding talent sharing. Many in NXT were left in the dark about the situation and didn't even know until the rumor had emerged, but we can confirm Dave Meltzer's reports that the preliminary conversations have happened, and the talks go high up in WWE. We're told the conversations go high up in both companies, but don't have any further details beyond that. It looks like will happen.
All right.
It's looking likely.
Cool.
All right. So after that match, we had Riddle and the Viking Raiders backstage. Riddle asked them, are you guys Vikings fans or are you Raiders fans? And Eric goes, I'm actually a Browns fan. That just made me laugh in that one sentence. And then Ivar's like, we're Viking Raiders. We're called that because we're Vikings that raid. Riddle's like, oh, okay, I think I get it. But he then calls Ivar a sexy stallion, which he is. And then Riddle rides off, finds Randy. Randy says, you're not my bro, in response to Riddle saying bro. Riddle thinks it's an honor to wrestle with Randy, as it should be. Randy's like, relax, we've only won one match. Takes a pause. What if we got another? I like this Randy a lot. That how he delivered that last bit was great. And then Riddle's about to talk more, and Randy just goes, or Riddle does like the zip mouth, and then hands the invisible key to Randy, and then Randy just puts it in his pocket.
I don't want to like this. I refuse to like it. No one can make me.
If there's one thing, I'm going to give him a compliment real quick. If there's one thing Riddle does well, it's have great tag teams. Him and Pete Dunne, him and Thatcher, and now him and Randy. Whether it's out of his own ability or not, he's been paired up in great tag teams. Alright, so moving on after that. We have Riddle and Randy Orton versus Elias and fake Steve Cutler.
Weird. I actually only saw this as a Randy.
We do this bit every week.
I know, it's because they put Elias in a handicap match every week. And I'm not gonna stop. So Randy's just beating the piss out of Elias in the corner. We get a stomp to the midsection of Elias. Riddle gets him. There's a slap across the face to Riddle. Then a shoulder tackle. Riddle breaks the cover but is put into a hand submission hold. Riddle tries to get out of it by lifting Elias, but Elias slams him back down. Randy then gets in, wants the Draper DDT, but gets his head pulled into the ropes by Elias. He slams Elias's face into the announce desk, and then we get a belly to back slam, more or less. I don't know what else to call it, but it happens a lot. Into the announce desk. I couldn't tell if the announce desk was supposed to break or not.
I don't think so.
It looked like it wobbled, but I was like, and then Adnan, fucking Adnan is he crouches by the corner of the table. And I was like, buddy, if something's gonna break, don't crouch by the corner of it.
I don't think it was supposed to break because like that wasn't like a break the table move, you know.
I just feel like my favorite things that normally like the announcers will like go and like walk to like the farthest part of like that area. Adnan just crouches down by the corner.
Also, real quick, Miriam said in reference to Riddle and his tag teams, how did those tag teams end for him? To be fair, he beat the shit out of Thatcher in the end.
To be fair, Thatcher got his teeth knocked out and then killed Matt Riddle.
Oh yeah, he won. I forgot about that.
Thatcher's never lost a fight pit because the fight pit is Thatcher's.
How did his tag team with Pete Dunne ended because Pete Dunne was out, right?
I don't know about that one.
I forget how that tag team ended.
I know basically move for move how the fight pit ended, but Tim lost those fucking teeth, and I said,
because I just know Thatcher, like, Pete Dunne was out, and they had the tag titles, and so Thatcher came in basically with the tag title at that point.
Yeah. One of the first episodes that we watched of NXT was when Riddle and Thatcher broke up. We watched the episode before. Well, I know I watched the episode before that happened.
Yeah.
And I will never forget you and I watching the fight pit together, and we were both like, no, there's no way that Thatcher actually lost teeth. This has to be fake somehow. And then we learned more about Tim Thatcher, and we were like,
oh yeah.
Oh, he lost some fucking teeth.
Remember when Kurt Angle reffed that match?
Barely.
Barely
so do I recall.
Also, Miriam said Pete Dunne ghosted him, parentheses, because of COVID. Yeah.
Makes sense. All right. I'm still in the middle of this. So, God bless Adnan. We get a neck breaker over Randy's back. As Mark noted, similar to what he did to Freddie Prinze Jr. And then we get a successful Draper DDT. Matt Riddle is tagged in. We get the floating bro that basically breaks Elias's fucking nose, and RK Bro wins. Mind you, the floating bro landed square on Elias's fucking face.
Yeah, that looked bad.
He looked like he may have actually gotten hurt because the way he covered his face and then rolled away.
Let's see if he posts an update at all.
I wouldn't be shocked to find out that he broke his nose.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you didn't break your nose, getting hit in the nose by anything fucking hurts.
Yeah, that's like, plus it's his back landing right on it. Back's hard.
And there's probably not a lot of fluff, you know?
Yeah. Man. Wish Elias was in a better spot, not in that horrible tag team.
Yeah, well, we all do. And it sucks, I say this a lot, but I don't like Elias right now. I cannot stand him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not his fault.
Yeah. Yeah. He's always in shitty positions. Right now he's with this. Normally he's with like Shane McMahon, which sucks for him. He needs his own thing.
He was supposed to get a shot at being a singles wrestler.
He still should.
Or, sorry, let me rephrase that. He was supposed to get a shot at a title run, not at being a singles wrestler. That's what he was doing.
Man. All right. So after that match, we had an interview with Drew McIntyre. He's asked who he wants to win the match later between Braun and Bobby. He says he doesn't care. Says what's meant to be is meant to be, and what's meant to be is Drew caving in Bobby and Braun's heads. Does a face talk like this? Well, since when does a face talk like this?
I have no clue.
Drew was like the only person who can skate that line.
The more we go down this path with Drew, the more he becomes heelish to me without being a heel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's grating.
Yeah.
Like, he's going full, like, Shield Roman on me now, where I'm just like, I get that I'm supposed to like you, but I fucking cannot stand you. He's hot as shit, but, like, he opens his fucking mouth and suddenly it's just...
Except when Roman was in the Shield, he was good at delivering promos. Well, sorry, Drew's good at it too. Roman could just diversify.
My face was more of like, oh shit, that's a burn, but...
I would be lying if I said Drew wasn't good at promos.
Drew's just good at talking out of his ass. He's a little fucking Gemini baby.
So anyway, after that, oh god, we have Sheamus versus Mansoor. A match I was really excited for. But man, although what I've heard regarding ending streaks, apparently WWE doesn't officially count DQs as ending streaks.
I didn't think they did.
Because I think Goldberg had a DQ in like WCW. Undertaker had a DQ in like a tag match.
And that's why this match, I think, fell a little flat, in my opinion. Mansoor looked great, by the way.
He did.
Like, so good that I'm mad that he's just been on 205 Live for the past however fucking long now. But with that said, the problem with this match was that they were trying to put over both wrestlers.
Yeah.
And that's very difficult to do when one of them is supposed to lose. However, because, I mean, they don't want Sheamus to look like he's a weak champion right now, because he just got the fucking belt. They don't want Mansoor to lose because he's on a winning streak. So, like, I fried my brain cells a little bit.
I don't think they need to worry about making Sheamus look good because, I mean, he's been in the business so long. He's a big guy. I think if that was the plan, what I'm saying is I don't think that was the plan. If that was the plan, they could just like have him lose and be like, oh, I just underestimated Mansoor, but that's never going to happen again.
Yeah, I don't know. If I saw him lose, I probably would be a little wary, in my opinion. So we get a headlock takeover on Mansoor, and then a big old shoulder tackle. He jumps up onto Sheamus' shoulders. He gets flung off. Pretty sad. Sheamus slaps him, like, real fucking hard. And then Mansoor drop kicks the shit out of Sheamus. We get an arm sub on Sheamus until a knee goes into Mansoor's midsection. Sheamus punches Mansoor off the top rope to ringside. We get 10 beats at the bottom before clubbing Mansoor off the apron again. And drops him into the barricade. And that looked like it fucking hurt. Eventually, Mansoor crawls his ass back to the fucking ring. There's some elbows thrown back to Sheamus over and over. Mansoor flips up and over Sheamus' shoulder. We get a drop kick to the knee that sends Sheamus into the buckles, and then a tornado DDT. Mansoor then goes up top, but Sheamus knocks him off. We get a white noise, and it looks like it's the end of the winning streak for Mansoor until Humberto Carrillo comes in, interferes before Sheamus can brogue kick Mansoor. Humberto gets brogued. Mansoor gets brogued. It's still a DQ, so it doesn't really fucking matter.
Yep. After that, we have Alexa's Playground. She says Lily was apparently out with wrestlers up close. She said she's gotten her hands dirty. Her favorite color is red. Someone's caught a ride. Can't say though, because it's a secret. But apparently, and I like this because it's kind of a throwback to when Bray's puppets would show up in the backgrounds. Lily was apparently in the background of a promo with Sonya. And Sonya's wearing all red, like you suggested.
And I thought it was interesting because Sonya has been wearing black constantly, just all black. So tonight when she showed up in red, I was like...
To be fair, she does wear blue on SmackDown.
But still, she's really only been wearing black, and so when she came in today in red, I was like, I guess I get it because it's Raw, but like you haven't been doing this, so like why are you doing this? And that's why I thought that something was going to happen with her tonight, as far as like the Charlotte, Mandy, Dana shit.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's not what I wanted, and it was something that, in fact, I really didn't want.
Whole Alexa gimmick has gotten so much worse since the Fiend and her split up.
And like, where's the Fiend now? Where's Bray?
Bray is probably taking some time off.
He just took time off.
Watch, he's like in the background of every single promo, but you just can't see him clearly. That would be great. Dude, I would do that. I would just throw him in the background of random promos and matches. Like, put him up on one of the LED screens. That'd be so good.
Would be.
And then you could just cut a promo later down the road. Just be like, I've been watching this entire time. Of course, some dude in the internet's gonna pick him out in every single promo.
Yeah.
But after that, you take notes about this upcoming match between Naomi and Lana versus Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax for the women's tag titles.
If I wasn't in a bad mood before this, oh my dear God, did this put me in a fucking horrible mood. I have never... I think I was about as mad as I was at SmackDown Karaoke. Like, I think that's where my rage levels hit this evening. So I did take notes. They're not good notes, but they're notes. Would you like me to start?
I suppose.
So to be fair, Alexa Bliss, as much as I cannot stand her and I think that her entire gimmick is disgusting and horrible, the ending was like a little ooky. Where she was singing and I was like...
Yeah, she was saying something about how, like, Lily, why did you make me do this? Like she's not in control.
She looked like sad, and I didn't care for that. That made me feel... I think this is the first time since the Alexa Bliss or the Dark Bliss thing has like started where I actually kind of sat back and I was like...
It makes me think that Alexa Bliss is like in there trying to fight back.
Mark, that Alexa Bliss never existed. What are you talking about?
But what I'm saying is that Lily takes somebody over, and those memories that she was reminiscing in of beating up children on the playground, that was from a different host.
So the doll's actually possessed, and this is what ever spirit possessed the doll, this is what the spirit did.
Yeah, basically.
See, now that's a spooky way to take it. Because what we could, it's, Conjuring-esque almost, really, when you think about it. Because now we take a very scary, evil spirit that is possessing a doll. The doll gets in the hands of a person. It possesses the person. And then that's the person on the inside is actually the spirit. That would be freaky. And that's why I know it's not the actual truth.
Can we get Ramblin' Rabbit against Lily? Give us
I
that
miss
mixed
Ramblin'
match.
Rabbit so bad.
I want to see that match. Or Sister Abigail and Lily.
Dude, Sister Abigail would take Lily down.
Yeah, she'd be like, "Get the fuck out my house, you bitch." Because I'm pretty sure she said that.
She has.
Before.
She called Alexa Bliss a bitch.
It was bleeped, so was it? Yeah, it was bleeped.
Yeah.
So we don't know it was bitch. It could have been worse.
Oh, she's a lady. She's allowed to. All right. Anyways, now that we've had fun, Naomi and Lana versus Shayna and Nia. Nia pancakes Naomi. Shayna gets in. We get an enziguri to Shayna and a tag into Lana. Lana hits the crossbody splash onto Shayna. Lana looked really fucking good tonight. We get a side Russian leg sweep. Naomi gets in. She rolls up Shayna. When Shayna breaks free, Naomi drop kicks Nia on the apron. We get the X Factor with Lana back in, and then a cover, and then Reggie distracts. I mean, if I told anybody watching this, if I told anybody that watches Raw or SmackDown for that matter, that there's a match between the two women's tag teams versus Nia and Shayna and some other women's tag team, and somehow Nia and Shayna ended up winning, you could guess what happened. Because this happens every fucking week. Reginald distracted the ref while Lana had Shayna rolled up. We got a Kirifuda clutch that Lana successfully evaded, which was not like nobody made a point of that, but Lana successfully evaded Shayna's finisher and still got Kirifuda. Let me just say this right now. Considering the Bobby versus Braun match was stupid as fuck, and I'm gonna just go from here to say that, I thought that match was dumb as shit. Decent, but it was dumb as shit. Considering the fact that Mansoor shouldn't have fought Sheamus, Mansoor should have fought somebody else so he could have maintained that win streak. I don't really know why he fought Sheamus.
Umberto.
Yeah. That could have been a different match. We didn't need, and no offense to people who love Drew Gulak, because I love Drew Gulak, but Drew and Angel didn't really need to happen, even though it was a great match. This women's match should have been longer, and there were pieces and things that could have been cut out or shortened that would have made this worth our fucking time. Fuck women's wrestling, I guess. It's just so fucking disrespectful that Naomi and Lana were the number one contenders. And the thing is that, like, I feel bad now because I think the number one contenders in reality are Natty and Tamina. And I want Tamina to have her time in the sun for sure. Because I don't think Tamina's going to be around much longer for wrestling. Because Tamina's just getting older. So I don't think she's going to be doing this full time for much longer. And she deserves everything that she's getting. But now it's like, okay, well, I wanted Lana and Naomi to get the titles, and now they're not. And now they're just being made to look like fools. Where's the happy medium?
Remember Kabuki Warriors? Remember Bailey and Sasha? Remember Iconics? Remember Bliss Cross?
Remember Fire and Desire?
No.
I'll take that back, dude. I'll take Fire and Desire back any goddamn day.
Fire and Desire together got like a single win in the entirety of 2019.
But to be fair, Ravish and Glow has all the makings of a good fucking tag team.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were like pissed off because they were like, well, Lana and Naomi, why are you putting them together?
Because they're friends.
They're perfect. They're perfect together.
Mm-hmm.
They're a classic tag team and it's working so well. I just...
Remember Nikki Cross?
Who?
Yeah. Remember Carmella? We haven't seen her in a hot minute.
I wish we could see Carmella. You know why? Because Corey isn't on fucking SmackDown anymore. It doesn't matter because you know what Corey's gonna do now?
On over
Corey's gonna sexualize Eva Marie. And we're gonna have to sit through that. Which, by the way, Eva Marie's video package ends, and Corey Graves just starts talking a whole bunch of flirty ass nonsense, and I was like, That's not Carmella.
You're talking like a
What the fuck
mark.
are you doing? Me?
Yeah.
I just think that Corey Graves could hype up Eva Marie in a way that wasn't sexualizing her. I don't know. A concept.
Great Ferrari.
Oh wow, Eva Marie. That's gonna be a fucking kick in the ass to the fucking women's division. He could say literally anything, but instead he was like, "Oh, I'll do anything she wants me to do."
Apparently, she's been signed for like 5 to 6 months.
Huh?
She's been signed for like 5 to 6 months now.
We knew that.
Um.
She's been backstage at like literally every pay-per-view.
Yeah. But apparently Parker or Bordeaux.
Boudreaux.
God damn it.
You're never gonna get that.
He's just starting training now, so.
Yeah, which is why I think she's coming back as a wrestler.
She could still manage. Like maybe she'll manage Braun.
I think she's coming back as a wrestler. I don't know why she would say this is gonna be evolution if she was just coming back to manage people.
Let's be honest, that's something Zelina would say.
I don't know.
This is Zelina-lution.
I want Eva Marie to come back and like make me like her. I want to eat my fucking words, dude, so bad.
Can we enjoy any aspect of Raw first?
Maybe this will be the aspect we enjoy.
We'll see. Alright, so God. We then have MVP and Bobby Lashley and Gorilla. MVP just says Braun's not as strong as Bobby. That's it. And then we move on to Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley in our main event. Liz, take it away.
I'd rather not. Alright. Somehow I ended up scrolled all the way up. Alright. Yeah, I didn't take notes for like the first 2 minutes of this match because nothing happened. It was just a war of attrition for the most part. Lashley goes like he wants a spear, but gets absolutely slammed to the fucking ground. Strowman goes for the running power slam. Bobby avoids it. He then is tossed from the ring by Braun. There's a splash in the corner to Lashley. Once they get back in the ring, Lashley sends a boot to Braun's face, goes off the ropes into a clothesline. We then get a submission attempt on Strowman, but Strowman is way too difficult to keep down because he's fucking massive and fucking jacked. And then Drew comes out.
I thought you said...
You might be saying, well, why did...
I said truth for a second.
No, R-Truth doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, I mean... But Drew comes out, and if you're asking why did Drew come out, well, Drew came out because he had to do something in the last 2 seconds of the fucking match. And we had to
Because
just deal with him on commentary for the entire time.
because he's trying to get Braun out of the match, so it can just be him and Bobby.
Which, that's not what this match was about. So, like, what is even the point? Anyways, Bobby takes Braun out from behind because Braun is distracted. We get a Russian leg sweep to Braun, and then Bobby slams Braun into the post. We get knees to the ribs of Mr. Braun Strowman, and then Bobby's just mashing his fucking face. They were like, oh, he's twisting and contorting Braun's face. And I was like, just like this. Just smushed. I was like, I think at one point Bobby had his fingers in Braun's mouth, and I was like, no. You don't do that. We get a big old right hand to Braun from Bobby. Bobby goes up on the ropes, ends up in an electric chair position, and gets electric chair suplexed by Mr. Braun.
Bobby had the greatest reaction when he was in that.
Yeah, he did a good job. Bobby then is sent up and over Braun's shoulders. He looks like he's looking for the hurt lock, but once again, Braun is fucking massive, and it just doesn't happen. We get a sidewalk slam to Bobby. Braun gets sent from the ring and sent into Mr. Drew McIntyre, and Drew McIntyre's real freaking mad about that. So Braun gets back in the ring, gets fucking speared, loses. Drew then gets in, Claymore's Bobby, Claymore's Braun. And I would bet $5 fucking on this right now. Next week, in the Drew and Bobby match, Braun's gonna come in and do the same fucking thing.
Probably. And then that would mean that both Drew and Braun have stood tall, therefore leaving Bobby being the only one who hasn't stood tall, meaning that he will retain. Because it's the formula.
Fingers are crossed.
We gotta bring jobbers back. Let's bring jobbers back so we don't have to get these matches anymore.
We haven't had jobbers in a while.
Yeah. Not since Sheamus was going off about how he was being disrespected.
Yeah. A minute.
Yeah. Alright, so bests of the night now.
Yep. Unfortunately, we've got to try to figure that one out.
Oh, also, one thing we didn't mention, after the match, they announced breaking news, which is that Bobby's going to face Drew next week, despite them explicitly saying whoever lost the coin toss would face Bobby next week. That's not breaking news. It's something you've already announced.
Breaking news, we told the truth.
Yeah. Alright, so promo of the night. Oh, there's a lot to sift through here. We start with MVP, Adam Pearce and Sonya doing the coin flip. That was dumb. AJ and Omos coming back. The New Day comes in. That was great. That was a lot of fun. New Day always can deliver a great promo. AJ has great chemistry with them. Omos is getting a lot more confident, which is great. Love that he's starting to open up. And honestly, what better trio to open up with than AJ, Kofi, and Xavier?
True.
That was an all around great promo. Then we had Sonya and Charlotte. With just dismissing Pierce, that was whatever. We had the Eva Marie promo. It was whatever. Bobby and MVP interview. Where I don't know, something happened. That was whatever. Elias's promo throwing the tomatoes at Randy. That was funny. Haha, Randy got hit by tomatoes. After that, we got Charlotte and Sonya in the ring. That was fun-ish. I don't know. Charlotte's kind of being annoying.
I don't think she's being annoying.
I think her being turned up to 11 was like great the first time, but now she's just kind of hit that note and just coasted.
No, she's just being a bitch. That's like her new thing.
Maybe it's the writing. Like
Could be.
nothing's really come to change anything because we all expected a triple threat. That was
True.
expected. Give us something spicy. Give us like Asuka now has to wrestle with the peg leg. I don't know.
I think that'd be a Kyrie thing, if anything.
Fine. Charlotte has to wrestle in her robe. Yeah,
Or
what if
break
they
her
were like,
fucking neck.
what if they're like, Charlotte, yeah, we'll let you in the match, but you have to like have this handicap. And she wins despite that handicap, and she's like, I'm the fucking best. I beat you all with this goddamn handicap.
They should make it a Charlotte versus Rhea and Asuka match.
Yeah. And then after that, we get Asuka versus Rhea and Charlotte. Can they coexist match? And then after that, we get Rhea versus Charlotte and Asuka. Can they coexist 2.0 match? Anyway. After that, we have Humberto's interview. He was attacked by Sheamus. That was great. That was funny. We had Adam Pearce and Sonya backstage. Adam Pearce gets more mad. That was fine. John Morrison, The Miz, get him out of here. Mansoor and Adam Pearce. That was fun. Sheamus kind of trying to intimidate Mansoor was fun. MVP's interview, that was whatever. Angel Garza's interview with, or not interview, promo with Drew Gulak was great. I actually really enjoyed that, even though some of it was just factually wrong. And then Shelton's interview was beautiful. It was really well done by him. Riddle and the Viking Raiders, and then Randy. That was something. That was fine. Then we had an interview with Drew McIntyre. Whatever. Alexis Playground, just whatever. MVP and Bobby and Gorilla was fine.
It's pouring.
I can hear.
I heard it like coming on, and I was like,
I'm torn on promo. Torn. But Sheldon had a great promo. But AJ, Omos, and the New Day also had a great promo that spun around unfortunate details, made something out of it to fit story. Meanwhile, Shelton just was very compelling on the mic. You know what? Purely because of Omos's confidence and him opening up again, I'm going to give it to New Day, AJ, and Omos. I really like that Omos seems to be getting a lot more comfortable on the mic.
I'll go with you on that.
Cool. Alright, so Wrestler of the Night.
Yeah.
And the Wrestler of the Night be like Byron.
Make it Mansoor, just for me.
So we had AJ Styles and Omos versus the New Day. I picked Omos. Omos actually looked great. He's getting a lot. Again, it's like the confidence. He's getting very mean with his moves. It's added aggression as opposed to at WrestleMania.
Would you say it's ruthless aggression?
Ruthless aggression. Yeah, liked Omos. Then we had Charlotte Flair versus Dana Brooke. Go with Charlotte. It's fine. That what was it? The thing where she took out Dana's knee.
Top block.
Cock block. That was great. That was cool.
That was a good move.
Let's see. Then we had John Morrison versus Damian Priest. I'll go with John Morrison. John Morrison. Damian was kind of hamming it up today. And look, he was in it. That bell clap was very half-assed.
You know what? I think that's why I didn't like tonight's episode. It wasn't just Damien. Nobody seemed to be in it tonight. Besides Omos. And like the New Day.
An Angel.
And Angel. Everyone else just kind of seemed to be like almost like it was like detention.
Mm-hmm.
Which I hate because Damien's been really good, and tonight just like was not anybody's night.
Cedric and Shelton were putting their all in.
Oh. Yeah. But also their heads have been on the chopping block for a couple weeks now, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
So like sing for your life.
But moving on to the next match, Lucha House Party versus Cedric and Sheldon. Who did I pick? I think I picked Lindsay. I wanted to go with Cedric, but he was in for such a short amount of time that it's hard to go with him. Lindsay was great throughout the entire match. I mean, he always is fantastic. It's great to see him in like a match, like a real match like this that has story consequences. After that, we had Angel Garza versus Drew Gulak. Obviously, Angel. I mean, this match is pretty much a squash. Angel is doing the squashing here. It was great. It was beautiful. Hopefully, we'll see more of this.
Yeah.
After that, we had RK Bro versus Elias and Budget Steve Cutler. I'll go with Randy. Randy was great. Really was.
Yeah, he was.
When he was lining up for that draping DDT and then was cut off.
That was like the one down. Sorry, somebody beckoned me just now.
Okay.
It's very weird when you have a t-shirt on, because all of a sudden you have like cat paw on your bare skin. You're like, that's a very weird texture. And no, it's raining. It was like the one downside to that match though, was that the Draper DDT, we didn't get a fun one.
Yeah. Alright. After that we had Sheamus versus Mansoor. Am I right? Mansoor was good. It's good. This wasn't really the match to show off though. That'll probably come Backlash. I'm excited for his Backlash match. You know that's coming.
Yeah.
That's gonna be either he wins the title or the streak ends. And either way, it's gonna be pretty big.
I want Mansoor to keep this streak.
Or Keith Lee comes in and just mows everyone down.
Every fucking week with Sheamus's open fucking challenge, I'm just like, let me bask in his glory. Let's do this, boys. And then fucking Humberto comes out, and I'm like, well, okay, I wanted you to have an opportunity to shine, but like,
you can shine in the Fatal 4-Way. That Backlash.
You can shine after Keith is back.
You can shine.
They have priorities right now.
In a Fatal 4-Way between Sheamus, Mansoor, Humberto, and Keith. Alright, so after that match, we had Naomi and Lana versus Shayna and Nia. I don't know, I'm skipping.
Give it to Lana. Give it to Lana.
Fine, fucking Lana. I literally wrote Lana question mark. And then we had Bobby versus Braun. We'll go with Bobby. Bobby sold shit.
Roll that down.
Bobby sold shit well.
Yes.
Bobby's a great wrestler. Really great. The wrestler of the night. I don't know. Angel Garza. Angel was great. You can't deny that Angel was fantastic today. Like, the way he just kicked that Rose up Drew Gulak's ass, that was so good.
Fine, just because I'm mad about this episode, anyways.
If there's one thing that Raw is doing right now really well, it's pushing their main card, or the mid card guys. Or I guess they're low card at this point. Alright, so match of the night. We started with AJ and Omos versus The New Day. It was a fun match. Didn't really go anywhere, but it was a fun match. It was nice and fun. Next week, I expect AJ versus either Xavier or Kofi.
Yeah.
Because that's how WWE operates.
Or maybe a handicap with Xavier and Kofi versus Omos.
Oh, maybe. Try and figure out how to take them down for their tag match at Backlash. Okay.
Yeah.
After that, scroll up. After that, we had Charlotte Flair versus Dana Brooke. This match was care for this. I didn't care for this match really. After that, we had, where's the next? John Morrison versus Damian Priest. Again, Damian Priest was kind of hamming it up the entire match. John Morrison was great. He did a really good job. Yeah. Damian's got to move. Dude, he's got to do something else. Because this feud with Miz and Morrison is not entertaining anymore. After that, we had Lucha House Party versus Cedric and Shelton. Fun match. It's a lot of fun. That had storyline come out of it, which is great. Cedric and Shelton both did great jobs. Lindsay and Grand Metalik also did a really good job in the match. And then the heartbreak that came out of it. Great. Then we had Angel Garza versus Drew Gulak. Really fun match. Even though it was a squash, it didn't feel like a squash when watching it. A lot of fun. And then that ending too. Kicking the Rose up the ass. You don't see that much. Much anymore. Then we had RK Bro versus Elias and Budget Steve Cutler. I mean, parts of it were fun. Parts of it. When it was Randy. That RKO at the end was so good.
It was, and I'm mad that I couldn't talk about it.
He's just getting hit in the back, and she's like, "What?" And RKO's him. Fuck.
Just like, no.
Oh man. Yeah, it's fine. Then we had Sheamus versus Mansoor. Really disappointing debut for Mansoor. I wish he'd gotten a better debut.
His performance was not disappointing. I think that's an important distinction to note.
Right.
It just shouldn't have been the match.
I know. But I feel like everyone can know that that was just not a great match.
I think the thing is, honestly, I think they wanted, for whatever reason, to use the Drew and Angel match. And then I think they were like, well, shit, Sheamus said that he's going to be defending his title every week. But we also have Mansoor. What do we do here? Like, we can't fit 2 more matches in. And so.
Yeah. What about Fatal 5-Way? Add an Angel Garza.
Okay.
He takes a rose. He's got 4 roses walking in. 5 roses. 1 for himself, too. Ready to put them all in everyone's pants.
You. Okay. Yeah.
Kick it right up there.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I'd like to see that. After that, we had the god-awful match of Naomi and Lana versus Shayna and Nia. Retire the title. Just retire the title at this point. It's
I'm
only...
not using it for good, so...
It's only causing horrible matches. Just get rid of it.
Or maybe we could just hire people that care about women's wrestling.
Just turn it into 2 separate singles titles.
Women's USA title.
Women's USA, Women's Cruiserweight. There you go. Oh, fuck me. Alright. And then lastly, we have Braun vs. Bobby. Was decent. Decent. Drew ruins everything like always, but it was a decent match. This was no SmackDown. It was definitely no NXT. I'm gonna go with Lucha House Party vs. Cedric and Sheldon.
Yeah, I gotta go with you.
Had a lot of story. Had a lot of heart.
I did.
You could tell Cedric was in it all the way.
Yeah.
With Sheldon.
Sucks that they broke up, but I'm hoping it's for the best.
Yeah. So, to run it back, promo of the night. AJ and Omos return. Wrestler of the night, Angel Garza. Match of the night, Lucha House Party versus Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Wow. All people, almost all people of color. AJ is the only one not.
We'll take it. We'll take it for what we can.
Yeah. Did you see that up down down video of AJ and Xavier playing Jenga? Oh, it was AJ, Xavier, and what's his name? Mikaze? Sasha's boyfriend, husband.
Oh, I don't know how it's spelled, let alone how it's pronounced.
It was the 3 of them playing Jenga in like the locker room of the Thunderdome. It's so funny because Ricochet is also there. There's a lot of people just hanging out, and Ricochet is just like watching the whole time.
Apparently, Ali and Ricochet are set up for main event again. Because Ali cut a promo, and it's on his Twitter. It's gonna be a great fucking match.
It is, but I don't want to see them on main event anymore. I want to see them on TV.
On the main event.
Yeah. Yeah, put the... Instead of Braun and Bobby, give us Ricochet and Mustafa.
That'd be nice.
Even though Ricochet can't cut promos for shit.
Listen, it's all the COVID brain cells.
It was before that even. There was a promo where Drew McIntyre just completely shut down Ricochet and his promo ability in kayfabe, where he just completely annihilated him, and that's like the moment where Ricochet was buried. So Drew probably killed Ricochet's career. Alright. So Liz, would you like to close out this Raw that disappoints every time?
If you joined us tonight, thank you so much. If you did not join us tonight, thank you so much because you've still watched it, apparently. Unless you didn't join us, opened up the video on YouTube, went all the way to the end of it for no good reason. If you did that, thanks for the dedication, at least. Please join us tomorrow night. It will be very fun because 1, it will be NXT, and 2, Mark will be doubly vaccinated and might be dying. We don't know. Turns out that it might have been my sinus infection that made me like legit die. Because literally everyone else that I know has just been like, yeah, I was a little achy, but that was about it. And I'm like, I thought it was the end days, dude.
I know some people that felt like shit, so.
Okay. Makes me feel better. Just means that my immune system is fucking strong. That's what happens when you drink a lot of vodka sodas and fucking vape. Anyways, I'm a mess. So yeah, please join us tomorrow night. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's NXT, so it's always fucking fun. Yeah, we love having people around. Maybe I'll wear my other Hawaiian shirt. Who's to say? Okay, sorry.
Yep. Thank you for watching. YouTube is the Pinfall Podcast. I've got all of our episodes on there. But if you subscribe, you can see all of our previous episodes up to 3 weeks ago. Immediately, you don't need to wait for me to upload them to YouTube. Our Twitter is at Pinfall Podcast. My Twitter is at the Mark Cameron, and Liz's is at Eliza Elaine23. But real quick, I do want to shout out my Twitch real quick because I'm doing a new series starting on Thursday, which is WWE 2K20 Universe Mode. I'm doing all 3 brands, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, in one day, every week. I've got Raw and SmackDown cards made already. Just to quickly run through them. Aleister Black and Mustafa Ali versus Bo Dallas and Apollo Crews. Chad Gable versus Lince Dorado for the United States Championship. And 2 Money in the Bank ladder match qualifiers. Now at SmackDown, 2 Money in the Bank qualifiers. Rey Fenix versus Steve Austin. Murphy versus Kane, and CM Punk versus Arya Daivari. So that'll be on Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. And we'll see you tomorrow for NXT. A much better day.